It's Dave Johal once again for Punchout Boxing. Please be joined by my colleague all the way from live from Poland for Usyk versus Dubois, the heavyweight championship of the world. He's been there for fight week. You've seen a lot of his videos so far. Ra's going to be covering the fight night for us as well. Ra, how you been? I've heard it's hot as anything over there. I mean, even Frank Warren was not complaining, but he said at the end of your interview, "Man, it's hot," or words similar to the effect. How's it been over there?
Awesome. It feels like a proper summer holiday, which back home we haven't had this year anyway. And yes, you're right, both Frank and Alex Krasniuk both wanted to cut the interview short because they needed a nice cool drink, which was understandable. But yeah, it's been lovely. The atmosphere's been great. Yeah, I'd like to see more events done in summer. It just gives it more of a sort of party vibe, party summer holiday vibe. So yeah, loving it.
Looks absolutely brilliant down there. I mean, the last time I was away for a fight, God, it must have been Klitschko versus Hay. I remember that being a summer event, great event. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but this is something of a bigger magnitude, should we just say as well, in terms of what's on the line. Not to say that was a small event, but what's actually going to happen on Saturday night could define the whole landscape of the heavyweight division. And some are not giving Dubois a chance whatsoever. However, it's unfair though, isn't it, to write Daniel Dubois off?
Yeah, in my interview with Ross Amber, who's obviously going to be in the corner for Usyk, he said that it's really unfair on Daniel and therefore unfair on Usyk because he's not going to get credit. I think a lot of it is down to the two fights where Daniel has looked the worst in his career. That's the defeat to Joyce and the fight against Lorena, the first round against Lorena, basically. Based on that, people aren't expecting much from him. But I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a hard fight for Usyk, whatever happens. Um, but yeah, let's see. I think Daniel is going to show something, and as viewers may have seen in my interview with James Ali Bashir, he's got an insider uh, in his camp, the man who knows Alexander Usyk probably better than anyone apart from his current camp. So it's going to make it interesting for sure. I don't see it being a walkover for Usyk.
Yeah, it's interesting having James Ali Bashir in the corner, as you said, someone who's very, very close to the Usyk camp with Alexander Usyk himself. How much of a defining factor will that be in the demise, if there is a demise of Alexander Usyk? Do you think it can be orchestrated?
Yes and no. Well, when I spoke to Alex Krasniuk, I asked him about it, and he said, "Well, actually, what Usyk does is no secret. He's been doing what he does for all his career. But once you're actually in there with him, you find that no amount of preparation could have, got you over the line. That said, if Daniel does do it, I think the bigger factor will be more where Usyk is in his career rather than Bashir actually giving him some secret formula to beating Usyk. I think Usyk, if he does get beaten, if not this time, whenever he does, it'll be because of time. As you know, that old man's unbeaten.
Yeah, I mean, even Dev Sani, I watched the interview when you caught up with Dev. Um, Dev's got it the age factor in terms of considering how Usyk would lose, and same with Frank as well. They're saying, look, age is going to be the defining factor. 25-year-old against a 36-year-old who has fought last time out a year ago against Anthony Joshua um, in the Middle East. That was literally a year ago now. So that's what they're saying. Dev's also said that he sees Daniel Dubois winning within the first 4 rounds. So it's going to be an interesting night, isn't it? I mean, if we get to the prediction first, then we'll talk about the rest of your week so far. How do you see this fight going down? You've been at the weigh-in. How did it look face to face at the press conference and then again at the weigh-in?
Well, actually, Alex Krasik corrected me when I spoke to him. I thought Dubois had come in a bit lighter. I thought we always come in at 240, but this time he was 233. But apparently he has come in lighter last time out. And sorry, he's come in heavier, and Usyk has come in lighter, very slightly. I don't think the size factor. I don't think that's that big a deal here. Well, one thing I disagree with most people on is that Daniel can only win it sort of in the first half of the fight. Yes, I know Usyk's tactic is he runs people's gas tanks down, but there are certain factors in this, and it seems almost sacrosanct to big up Usyk and never question what his limits are. But the reality is, at heavyweight, he's only beaten one top level heavyweight, Anthony Joshua, and it's an Anthony Joshua who clearly has been at least mentally diminished for some time. An AJ who's shown his gas tank is probably his biggest physical weakness, not his chin, as some people say. So maybe AJ was just the right heavyweight for Usyk to get when he got him. I don't think we've ever seen evidence of Dubois having a weak gas tank. I can't remember him sort of ever looking, exhausted in a fight. Yeah, he doesn't work particularly hard. He might have to sort of take parts of rounds off, if you like. But I've never seen it. We've never seen him get to the late in the fight and then, he's totally gassed out. And he's 11 years younger. So will Usyk's movement gas him out the way it could AJ, who already has a proven limited gas tank, and someone like Bellew, who was 36 and had just boiled off 50 pounds.
Was that not a cruiserweight, though?
Exactly, but my point is people always talked about how Usyk gassed him out because of the way he moves. He just keeps you, he just mentally drains you, and his movements are so much better than his opponents that they're having to work much harder than him just to sort of stay in the fight. But yeah, like I said, when has he fought someone 11 years younger who's naturally going to have a lot more fitness? I don't care what people always say. I'm fitter than I've ever been at 35. You ain't. You might just be mentally more able to manage your gas tank better than you were in your 20s because of experience. And that might still be what counts in the end. We'll see. But I'm not convinced Usyk can run his gas tank down. And that's why I think it is possible for Daniel to win the fight late or even win it on points. And people say, what? Win it on points? No, nobody outpoints Usyk. I'm not saying he can win it on points by outboxing him, no. But if he can hurt him early, really hurt him, because of Usyk's age, he might stay hurt. Now, because he's got tremendous knowledge and know-how, he might be able to sort of hang in there. He'll have all the tricks of the trade to not actually get stopped or taken out. But he might still be losing enough rounds as the fight goes on. And of course, like I said, there's the age factor. Maybe he suddenly finds when he's hurt, he ain't able to move as much. He feels a bit more tired than he used to, especially going up against a youngster who's able to sort of really force himself to keep working and keep throwing those big shots. Because of that, I think it's possible he could get to the final bell and find that Dubois has picked up enough rounds. So, Yeah, that is how I see it. I don't see a complete blowout early, as some people think. Either way, at this level, that rarely happens. So yeah, if you want my prediction, I'm going to go for a shock Daniel Dubois points win. Probably a split decision with the crowd booing, Usyk going away saying he's been robbed, just like Lomachenko did.
You referring to Lomachenko, Devin Haney, because that we agree that was not a robbery, and I urge people to watch it back who did think it was a robbery to watch it back.
Yeah,
And yeah, on this occasion though, I do disagree with you. I think what do I want to happen? Of course, Daniel Dubois to win, the belt's back on home soil. Then do we get that fight between Fury and Daniel Dubois? Does that then open up the door to the winner out of Zhang versus Joyce 2? Does AJ get a big shout then? So there's a lot that rests on this fight if Daniel Dubois wins. I don't know if there's a rematch clause. Maybe you can find that out tomorrow, Raw, if you do speak to anyone.
No, Frank Warren made it clear there's no rematch clauses. The winner walks away with all the belts.
Wow, so there's a lot at stake. So
right.
Young Daniel Dubois, 25 years old, could walk away the unified heavyweight champion of the world. And look, we've seen shocks in boxing before. You know, with Tyson Fury dethroning Vladimir Klitschko, who had a dominance of over 11 years, the Klitschko brothers. We've seen shocks in boxing where David Haye rocked Valuev and became WBA heavyweight champion of the world from cruiserweight. We've seen these kind of things. Buster Douglas, we can go on and on and on. Could I see Daniel Dubois knocking out or stopping Usyk? Yes, and that's the only way that I can see him winning. I can't see him outpointing someone with an impeccable amateur record, a gold medalist, a undisputed cruiserweight champion, and now heavyweight champion of the world. I just can't see past that, Raw. And also, nothing to do with home crowd advantage, but it does pay a bit of a difference. So I'm going to give you two predictions. One, which are going to be the obvious. Do I want Daniel Dubois to win? Absolutely. Can I see him winning? Yeah. However, my prediction would be Usyk on points.
You think he's going to win widely on points?
No, I can just see him. Well, it would be wide, wouldn't it, if it's going to be an MD? So I can see an MD. I can't see it being controversial, but don't count Daniel. Not you, but I'm just saying in general. Do not count Daniel Dubois out. He can hurt people. You know, he's got dynamite power. I mean, Dev Sani said it well, didn't he? Where he said that only Daniel Dubois and Deontay Wilder carry this freakish power in the heavyweight division. So let's see if we're in for a shock. You just never know. It's one of those crazy sports where anything can happen. What's the general consensus with the boxers that you've been speaking to that are from Queensbury? So Adam Hamed, Hamza Shiraz, Zayed Alamouf. There's a whole host of boxers there as well, personalities. What's the general consensus on the ground? Are they saying that, look, our man Daniel Dubois is gonna win?
Yeah, but when they're with Queensbury, of course, there's going to be in-house support, but most of them, just having heard what they're saying to others, it seems to be that they think he's got to win it early in the first half of the fight. That they think that if it gets to the second half, by then Usyk will have established his rhythm and run away with the fight as he has always done. So that seems to be the vibe I'm getting, and that seems to be the vibe throughout most of the boxing fraternity.
Wow. So I mean, look, let's see what happens tomorrow night. Looking forward to all the footage that you're going to be bringing over as well. We've got the interview going up with Alex Krasiak. tomorrow morning, so make sure you look out for that. When you're back, of course, as well on Monday, another heavy week of boxing starts again, starting on Saturday. If you want to just introduce where you're going to be on Saturday, Ross, Saturday the 2nd of September.
Yeah, back to Brentwood, Essex for Johnny Clark's top tier show. This is awesome. We've got the Romanian heavyweight Mihai Nistor, who I've interviewed a couple of times now, visited Mervyn Turner's Shamrock Gym in Luton, where he's based. He, of course, is the man who stopped Anthony Joshua in the amateurs, and Mervyn's very confident. This man, he's got the amateur pedigree, the dedication, the ability, all of it, to be a force from cruiserweight up to heavyweight. He's targeting the Bridgerweight title first. I don't know if that's because they see it as low-hanging fruit. But they say they can get down to cruiserweight. As you know, there's loads of great fights there. And yeah, at some point, like most of them do, he'll probably go up to heavyweight and will probably be a threat. In the amateurs, he fought everyone, all the top names. AJ, like I said, stopped him. He's fought Hrgovic, he's fought Usyk. That's the level he's been at the amateurs. Early days as a pro, but he's 6-0, all knockouts. This is his UK debut, and of course, as you know, the UK is a place to be. So he's headlining, but there's some other great fighters there. There's Konstantin Ursu, the Moldovan kid, him against Jordan Dujon, who's well known for being Southern Area champ up at super welterweight. This is at welterweight. And it's a real packed out card. You know, Johnny, he loves putting on those competitive 50-50 fights. So there's about a dozen of them. Brilliant show. So yeah, looking forward to that. And yourself, you're following our good friends at TM14 Promotions.
Yes, I'll be there. And you just forgot one person off the card. Someone who is a friend of the show. Jordan Reynolds will also be fighting on September the 2nd on Top Tier. Very entertaining to watch Jordan. He'll be bringing in a massive crowd as well, Lutonian, and it'll be good to see him. Yes, I'll be over for TM14's York Hall card, where I'll be commentating alongside British middleweight champion and middleweight world challenger Denzel Bentley as well. I don't know if Denzel's there in Poland. I'm not sure. I haven't seen his post or anything, but if he's there, make sure to say hello.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I haven't seen him yet.
Oh, you haven't seen him yet. I don't know if he's going to be there, but yeah, next week I'll be commentating alongside Denzel in what will be another great night at the York Hall. York Hall always packs out a fantastic crowd with some great fights on there as well. And there is the Little Affair as well, which Carl will be covering over in Manchester for Smith versus Eubank 2, a massive card domestically. And again, there's a lot of rivalry in this one, a lot of back and forth between Liam Smith and Chris Eubank Jr. It's going to be entertaining. We've got a massive Saturday ahead of us and loads of interviews coming out. But first and foremost, we have the Little Affair of the heavyweight championship of the world on Saturday night. You've got our predictions. Make sure you like and subscribe. The links will be here on each side, so make sure you do that and recommend this to your friends as well. But Ra, you've got some sleep to get. What time is it over there, by the way? You're an hour ahead, aren't you?
It is 11 p.m.
There you go. Get in your beauty sleep before the big night for boxing tomorrow. So there you have it.
Believe it. You know, I always like to look good at these events.
So look, it's going to be great. Ra, all the best. We'll catch up with you soon, and yeah, let's see if we have the new dawning of the new heavyweight champion of the world, or is it going to be the new? Let's find out tomorrow night. Cheers. Thanks for watching.